Today's topic is 10 steps you need to take in your 20s to become rich in your 30s. So the first thing, it's simple. It's just having a plan of action, some sort of plan. You cannot go into anything blindly. You gotta have some sort of plan, because a lot of us won't know what the journey would look like, but we know what the destination is. And hey, the journey is the best part about it. It's the most funnest thing. The second step that you need to take in order to become rich in your 30s is that you need to build extra sources of income. You cannot just rely on one source of income. If right now you have a 9-to-5 job, start thinking of how maybe you can utilize the weekends so you can maybe create like some sort of hobby for now and transform it into a side business, and hopefully one day you can transform it into a full-time business. Start thinking big picture. How can I build a second source of income? Or maybe you have a business right now, and how can you leverage your business to generate more income, or different businesses? And having multiple sources of income is not just about making more money, but it's also about not having so much risk into one job or one business, because if that business fails, are you going to lose your house? Are you what's going to happen, if that business fails? One question that you can ask yourself is there a service that you can offer? Is there a product that you can sell? Something like that, right? Start thinking like that. Brainstorm ideas, and trust me, if you just put a little bit of your time every single day to brainstorming ideas, you'll come up with something. So the third step that you need to take in order to become rich in your 30s is that you need to build some sort of passive income. So on top of building multiple streams of income, some of them have to be passive or residual, whatever you want to call it. Basically, you're making money while you sleep. A good example is like YouTube. You might be sleeping, you're getting a couple of views, there's $1, $2, you made it while you were sleeping. You can't say passive income is something like your 9-to-5 job where you have to put those hours of work. That's not passive income. The fourth step that you need to take in order to become rich is that you need to lower your expenses as low as possible. So what I mean by that is if you're so used to going out every single day, take it down a notch. Hustle while you're young, because a lot of the expenses that we have when we're young is a lot of wants. It's not necessarily needs. We don't have to go out with our friends every single day, and we don't have to go out to expensive places too every single day. We can go to Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is nice. It's very affordable. It's very yummy too. Once we get a certain age where we have kids, where we have a mortgage, we need shelter for our family. We need diapers. We need food for our kids. They need clothes. They need supplies for school. But when you're younger, you don't have those type of responsibilities. Right now is the time to make decisions to go more based on needs over wants. It's okay to have a little bit of wants here and there, but don't overdo it. Be smart with your money. Lower your expenses as much as possible. Live within your means. Now, the fifth step that you need to take in order to become rich is you got to own your business. It's okay if you have a 9-to-5 job. That's totally fine. You could, on top of having your 9-to-5 job, start a business. There's a lot of people that actually have 9-to-5 jobs and have a business on the side. Here's a key thing about owning a business. Yes, it is more risky than relying on a corporate job, because corporate job seems to be more comfortable or more secure, right? But what happens is that you get capped at a certain point. Your salary gets capped, your growth gets capped, and having your business is the only way that you can be able to scale. It's so scalable. Obviously, every business is different. Some businesses can scale so crazy compared to others, but the key thing here is you got to have some sort of business, which plays in perfectly to the sixth step that you need to take. Plan for the long term. A lot of times when we're in our 20s, we don't want to think about the day that we retire. We don't want to think about when we're old or saggy and stuff. If you start thinking like that in your 20s, you're going to be in such a better place when you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s. And you're going to be able to provide a better life for your family as well. It's way better to start thinking about those type of things now in your 20s when you probably don't have as much responsibilities than hitting 40 years old and thinking damn, why didn't I ever plan out my life? Why never think long term? Now I'm stuck in a place where I kind of feel like I have to start over, or I'm starting fresh, when I only would have started when I was 25, or when I was 20 or 21, when I was 30. Now the seventh step that you have to do in order to become rich is you have to take risks, especially when you're young. I always bring up this analogy with my friends, and I tell them hey, right now is the best time to take risks, because maybe for a lot of you guys, you're not married, you don't have kids, you're in a place where maybe, let's say, everything goes wrong. For example, for me, let's say I start a business and I have a job and I get fired, my business goes terribly. Is my life over? Not necessarily. I'm only 22 years old. I'm living at home, I pay rent, so it's not like my parents are gonna kick me out. It's not the end of the world. So right now is the best time for me to take risks compared to me, let's say 10 years from now. I'll be married, have kids, have a mortgage, and imagine I take risks then. I'm not saying it's impossible, but if you take risks, then it's a lot more riskier, because you don't want to risk losing your income, because that could mean losing your home, not being able to provide for your family. But if you're young right now, for the most part, a lot of us, if you're young in your 20s, maybe you don't have those responsibilities that you're going to have when you're in your 30s or 40s. Right now is the best time to take risk. Fail miserably. It's okay. You're in your 20s. You have time. Time is your biggest asset. Like I said before, it's okay to fail, because you know what? You're going to only learn from it. That way, when you're in your 30s, you're going to be so much stronger. Your character's going to be so much stronger. Your knowledge will be a lot greater. Right now is the best time to take risks. If you're thinking and you're contemplating to start that business, or to quit your job to find something else that you really have a passion for, take that risk. And hey, you know, all these steps are connected. I talked about having a plan. Don't just quit that job without having a plan. Don't just take risks without having a plan. Don't just take risks and that's it. Don't just quit your job or start your business. Have a plan. Think long term. All these steps go hand in hand. You got to complete all these 10 steps, all 10 of them. All right. Now, the 8th step that you need to do in order to become rich is you need to invest in yourself. What do I mean by that? You're already investing in yourself by watching this video, because you're expanding your knowledge. You're seeing how, okay, let's see what Josh has to say. What 10 steps do I need to take to become rich in my 30s, right? So I'm proud of you guys for investing in yourself. That's already investing in yourself. Watch YouTube videos to grow your knowledge. Read books. You guys spend money all the time, right? You spend money eating out. You spend money buying stuff from Amazon. You're literally investing into their businesses. Their businesses are growing. Why not invest in yourself? You're the biggest asset. You are your biggest asset. There's no bigger asset than you. I don't know why that sounded funny.
There's no bigger asset than you.
But yeah, you're the biggest asset. You have to invest in yourself. The 9th step that you have to take in order to become rich is you simply have to pay down your debt. You cannot live a life where you're living paycheck to paycheck, where most of your money is going to your debt. And there's 2 main ways how to pay down your debt. I'll talk about it in another video. Now, the 10th step that you have to take in order to become rich is you always stay humble. Always remain humble. Doesn't matter where you are in life, always remain humble. Because you know what? Number one, there's 2 things. Number one, you were never in that position. You started way down the ladder. And number 2, there's always someone bigger, smarter, richer, maybe funnier than you, right? So there's always someone, there's always going to be someone that's, you know, like has more money than you, that maybe has more businesses than you. So always remain humble. There's no such thing as learning too much or knowing too much. You can learn from anyone and everyone. Never have your mind closed. Be open-minded. And trust me, being humble will also really help you in your mental health. Because a lot of times when you see people that are, you know, like chasing the clout, or they just so, like, I don't know how to say it, like, I guess so cocky, or they're so selfish mindset, it kind of gets boring. It kind of gets annoying, right? And those type of people tend to be the people that we tend to push away. And you know, one key thing for me that I've seen in my life, the more that God blesses me, the more I want to help others. That's a key thing that I apply to my life. Instead of boasting about myself, I want to humble myself. And I see building wealth not as an ambition, but more of a calling, that I can be able to provide resources, to provide knowledge, and to help others. Having more money for me is not being able to spend more, but rather help and be able to serve others. That's the way I see it. And I hope that you see building wealth as a resource, as a way to, you know, have financial freedom, of course, but also as a way to be able to help others and give back. There's no greater satisfaction, whether it's in knowledge, whether it's being able to mentor someone one day, or whether it's just simply giving back to your family, your parents, you know, for the great things that they did for you, right? Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to slap that subscribe button. And I thank you guys for joining me on this journey and finding financial freedom. I really appreciate all of you guys. Hit the like button. If you hated this video, hit the dislike button. I don't care. I just really enjoy doing this. So it's a really passion of mine. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.